Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 41st ever Highlight Haven interview. My name is Matthew Heiserman, and today we are joined by JMU linebacker Gannon Weathersby. Gannon, it's great to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, really appreciate you coming on. Now, let's get right into it. I just want to start by asking when you first knew that you wanted to play football.
When did I want to play football? I'll say since I was a baby. My dad coached my older brother, and I was just one of them little bad kids that like to run on the field and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it was in me.
Yeah, now when you started playing football, were you always a linebacker, or were you more of a utility guy playing all around the field?
So I started off on the line, playing D line my whole youth football career until I got to eighth grade. So yeah, it was a big switch.
What was the toughest part in transitioning from D line to linebacker?
Just knowing that, just communication, I would say, because as a linebacker, like you have to lead the guys. You have to make sure everybody's on the same page. So that was the toughest part for me because I was one of them guys to where I know what I'm doing, but you better know what you're doing. So
Yeah.
that was one of the things I had to learn.
Yeah, now I mentioned during the intro your main position is linebacker. However, you did play some strong safety during your football career, especially in high school. Do you have a preference between those two positions?
Yeah, I prefer linebacker. People say I got more of a safety body type because of my height, but I'll say linebacker because I like being in the action. I don't like waiting for stuff, and I want to get my hands dirty.
Yeah, and you've obviously been playing at JMU throughout your entire college football career. Was there a specific moment coming out of high school when you knew that JMU was the best option for you?
Yeah, so I was committed to another school, and then James Madison they offered me my senior year, and they just kept in contact with me. So I would say like after my senior year was over, I took a visit up there, and at first I thought they wanted me as a safety like all the other schools wanted me. They said, "No, we want you as a linebacker," and for me, I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm just going to commit here because that's what I love. That's in me."
Yeah, now were there any other main schools that you were in consideration, to joining or the school that you already committed to?
Like Army, West Point, and I'll say the Tennessee State were schools that I was obviously looking at because they been in contact with me first earlier, and I never heard of James Madison until my
Yeah.
senior year. So when I heard about them, I took my visit. I looked at my parents. I was like, "Oh yeah, this is it."
Yeah, and obviously you attended Langston Hughes High School in Fairburn, Georgia. With that being said, in your opinion, what was the most challenging part transitioning from the high school level to college football?
Just the mental part of the game. In high school, you only have six coverages you're running. College, you got like 40 plus. So I mean, that was a big thing, and just communicating with everybody, and like you're the leader of that defense, and so that was a big thing. Because my freshman year, it was rough. I was getting cursed out almost every single meeting, so I came a long way and just build up my knowledge of the game. So I'll say that.
Now, was there a big difference for you in terms of a talent standpoint against the competition you were going against, or was that kind of an easier transition?
I'll say I ain't gonna say it was an easy transition, but like my high school, Langston Hughes, I played around, 4 or 5 stars, Aaron Nolan, Terrence Love, guys who committed to Ohio State, Auburn.
Yeah.
So the competition wasn't really that different. I would say it's more of a size difference to where the whole offensive line is 6'5" and 300 plus pounds, but that was really it.
Yeah, in this past season, it felt like JMU's entire defense consisted of new players after many guys followed Kurt Signetti to Indiana last offseason. As someone who decided to stay with JMU, what was it like adjusting to this new surrounding cast?
Um, it was a change, because coming from Signetti, it was more just like cutthroat, do everything to win. With Coach Chesney, is more we're actually building a brotherhood. We're actually building a bond, and he actually cares about us, and I care about the guys next to me. So we was doing name games. I had to learn their why. Okay, what's their basically their origin story on how they got to playing football. So I would say I built a better bond because of that with them guys.
Yeah, and who were some of the guys that you became really close with this past season at JMU?
Man, it was a lot of the guys. You got Dobbs, you got Ray Scott, you got just a lot of the new guys, Chris, basically a lot of guys. Because just seeing their backgrounds and their why, it's like, oh man. So you build a better mind. So I'll say that.
Yeah, sorry, you cut out there for a second, but we have you back now. Obviously, on December 18th, JMU beat Western Kentucky in the Boca Raton Bowl, winning their first bowl game in program history. In that game, you had four total tackles to go along with one fumble recovery and half a sack. What did that win mean to both you individually and the team as a whole?
I'll say as a team, it was big. Just obviously last year was just like we didn't have our whole coaching staff and us losing in the bowl game that hurt. So this is based like our real first bowl game, and just to come out with the victory, it was big because we had some adversity we had to go through in that game. And for me, that was my first start. So I went from only having play like 8 to 10 snaps a game to like, okay, you're starting, you're up. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
so
Now, did that previous bowl game against Air Force kind of prepare you for this one, get you in the right mindset?
yeah, because it hurt. Even though I was like mainly on special team, just watching the older guys just hang up the pads and they just crying, just like wishing, man, I could have gave it my all. I could have done this better. It just made me okay. Like I want to leave this game without no regrets.
Yeah, in this past season, you had 22 total tackles, 5.5 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks, two forced fumbles, and two fumble recoveries. What's one thing that you take pride in when it comes to your play style?
I would say just effort and just playing nasty. I mean, I'm not a big guy, so every time I get in there, I want you to know, like, okay, you better watch out. So I just am playing hard and giving 100% and just playing nasty and physical football.
Yeah, last season in JMU's game against Coastal Carolina, a photo of your face paint went viral, racking up over 1 million views across social media. Can you break down the thought process of this face paint before the game?
So I've been doing this since high school. That's Zach. I've been doing the face paint since high school. So for this game, it was a whiteout, and I'm like, let me do something different this game. So I brought one of my little eye black from high school, and I did on my face, and
And you
yeah,
And you did the face paint yourself?
yeah. Only took about 5 minutes.
Mhm. Yeah, and throughout your college career, you've gotten the opportunity to go up against teams such as North Carolina, Georgia Southern, and Marshall. How does this tougher competition help you improve your game?
It helped me improve my game just knowing that like everybody's good in every position, and you got to bring it. It don't matter what their record is. It don't matter who they got on their team. It's just you got to bring it every single game because we could have a game to where we could beat North Carolina than used to ULM. Stuff like that. You got to bring it every game.
Yeah, and during your college career, you've played in some very important games. Obviously against UNC, that 70-point game in the Boca Raton Bowl. Is there something specific you do to help you handle the pressure, the nerves heading into these games?
At the end of the day, this is football. I've been playing this game since I was 4 years old. Yes, plays, 100,000 people, screaming, but this is football. This is the game I love. I'm not gonna make it more complex, more serious than what it is. It's football. I love playing it.
Yeah, now is there a specific NFL player that you either try and model your game after or take inspiration from?
I kind of think I have my own style a little bit, but I
Mhm.
would say I'm a Tyron Matthew / Troy Polamalu, but like the linebacker version of it.
Yeah, I actually love that comparison. And of course, you've worn the jersey number 17 for a majority of your college career, at least these last two seasons when you've gotten a little more playing time. Is there a specific meaning behind that number, or is it just a random number that you chose and decided to stick with?
Just a random number they gave to me. The player make the number. The number don't make the
Yeah.
play. So.
Mhm. Yeah, and on game days, are there any pregame rituals you have? Any kind of maybe music you listen to get you in the right mindset?
So I would say, like heading to the game, I like to listen to the Rod Wave, just calm before the storm. And then, I'll say when I'm working out, Chief Keef, Young Boy, Little Babe Gunner, anything to get my juices rising. So I'll say that.
Yeah, and you currently major in psychology at JMU. So tell me, as a college student, how are you able to balance that schoolwork while also giving 100% on the field?
Yeah, it's an adjustment. Just my freshman year, it was rough for me. I was going through it, but just learning how to balance it, just taking advice from the older guys, learning how to balance it and just take care of my business and just make sure I do everything on time and just take care of my responsibilities.
Yeah, now throughout your college career, has there been a specific game that you would consider to be your favorite or most memorable game?
I would say North Carolina because I
Yeah.
didn't think the two games before that I didn't get no defensive snaps. So this game we had people that went down. It was like, okay, Gannon, you're up. I'm like, okay, one of the biggest games of the season. Okay, cool. And then I only had 8 snaps, and I think I had like 3 tackles, a strip sack, and a QB hurry. So I'll say that game.
Yeah, obviously, really big game against UNC. A lot of pressure going into that one. So yeah, that's a great choice. And recently, JMU acquired linebacker JT Kwame Yao through the transfer portal. JT previously spent 3 seasons at Shepherd University. Have you had the opportunity to work with him yet since he's arrived at JMU?
Yeah, when we first had our meeting when we first got back, I met him, I introduced myself, and I said, we gonna work. And he was like, yeah, we gonna work. So we lived together. He made me better, and I made him better. And we kind of like we not bully each other, but we just talk mess to each other. Man, you could lift more weight than that. Come on, And he challenged me, so it's a good bond. We make each other better. We make everybody else in our group better. So I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love to hear that. And just the other day, JMU brought in former Robert Morris defensive coordinator Dave Plungus to be their new linebackers coach. How do you expect this move to affect the Duke's linebacker room this upcoming season?
To affect. I'm just the same thing, just upholding the standard. But we just had a meeting yesterday with the linebackers. We want to not just uphold it, but we want to make it better. The last previous years, we only had one linebacker make all conference. Like, why not get 2 up there? Why not get 3 up there? So I'll say we're going to make, we're going to try to increase the standard. And I feel like he could help us with it.
I do have one final question to ask before we wrap things up. What are some both personal and team goals that you have for this upcoming season with the Dukes?
I would say team goals, win the conference championship, beat App State. I'm still mad about the snowballs they threw at us. So I'll say that, win the conference championship, hopefully make the playoffs. And I'll say a personal goal, just be a better leader on and off the field and show the young guys, because now I'm one of the oldest guys now. So just lead by example and just show them, not just talk. I'm not going to give a whole bunch of David Goggins speeches, but let me show you the way. Or watch me work, and then I'll bring you along with me.
Yeah, with that being said, I can't thank you enough for coming on. I really do appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to say to the people watching before we wrap things up?
Um, I'll just say thank you for everybody who brought me this way. I know I've had my ups and downs back then, but I just appreciate everybody, who stuck with me. Thank you.
Again, big thanks to Gannon Weathersby for being the 41st ever Highlight Haven interview guest. And as always, we will see you next time.